You're live. All right, we're talking about Seahawks. We love our Seahawks. Go Seahawks. Go Hawks. I think we should change that Go Hawks part because that was Russell Wilson's thing. So I don't know what it's gonna be this time, but it's whatever. Yo, some quick news: Justin Jefferson might end up with the Chiefs, so that would be crazy because he's already him, And with Patty Mahomes, who's him, Kelsey, who's him, that will be a crazy ass offense. He would probably be the number one fantasy draft again. He would probably elevate their status as a team. I'm talking about the Chiefs as the favorite to win again, which would be like the first time ever that someone would win triple crown in a row. It's never happened ever. Not in NFL, at least, not since I've been alive. But we're talking about Seahawks, and the draft that's coming up is probably one of the most important drafts. It's the draft that where John Snyder is going to be able to put his stamp on the team. He is the man who's running the whole entire show. From what I've read and what I've heard is the coaching staff is now going to be at the combine. They're going to be like where they're supposed to be, which is like implementing the coaching philosophy that they're going to end up having by the end of the year. They're going to implement the different things that they want to do as coaches and just bond. So right now, John, who is like the front man for the whole entire thing, is looking over every document under the sun with him and his team and looking to see like who are they going to legitimately draft. Now it's been voiced that John Snyder intends to draft the most important player at the most important, or the best player at the most important position. So what would that look like? It would probably, to me, the most important position on the field on offense or on offense and that with Trump defense is the quarterback position. The most important position on defense might be a defensive end. So if you're thinking about from those two sides and seeing the movement that John has made, like he has interviewed, had conversations with the Heisman Trophy winner. Does that mean anything? I'm not sure. Jaden Daniels would be awesome in an offense where you already have, I feel like one of the top rated offensive groups from a wide receiver's perspective. I feel like he would make that offense even more of a threat. And then you still have that run game that if given the opportunity to be able to strengthen that O-line, the run game is going to look legit because there's been a lot of times when Walker got the ball and he's getting touched as soon as he gets the ball. Like that's not supposed to happen, but that's the Seahawk, offensive line. It was hurting. We had to go reach out and go get Peters, who's 40 years old or 41 years old as a offensive lineman. That is crazy. Anyways, John Snyder talked to Jaden Daniels, the Heisman Trophy winner. He's probably going to go at the second or third pick. He also took the time to talk to Drake May, who might also go at the second or third pick. They're going to flop back and forth. Shoot, I wouldn't be surprised if someone traded up to the number one position to draft Jaden Daniels. Like everybody's saying that the last year's Heisman contender or last year's Heisman winner is gonna be the one. But you never know. Like someone might do the research and might think like, all right, maybe Jaden Daniels is very reminiscent of the NFL's MVP, and we want a piece of that. This would be that one time that you can emphasize this move and bolster your offense to get a player who's generational. So yeah, if you're looking at that perspective, then maybe we find a way up. I'm not sure how the Seahawks is going to maneuver their way in a position to where they have an opportunity to draft in the top 5. Like last time we did that, we got a pretty good player. He's a pretty good corner. If you haven't watched the Seahawks, just watch who is in a lot of tackles, who may not be the biggest guy, but he is everywhere. Just an absolute menace. Now, a lot of speculation has been rumored that the Seahawks at the 16th position probably won't have an opportunity to draft the top-rated quarterbacks, so they're looking into the defensive end spectrum, which isn't bad because if on the defensive side, the most important position, a lot of kids and a lot of adults might say it's the corner, it's the linebacker, but no one who has played football would announce that this is the exact important position because they're all important. However, when you're the Seahawks and you already have the DB position on the corner solidified, you don't have to go after them. Linebacker is a little questionable, but one element of the Seahawks offense that would be nice is an added pocket presence from a decent defensive standpoint with a defensive end or defensive tackle. Now, we're probably going to go out of our way to make it happen with Leonard Williams, put him on a contract, keep him on the field, keep him on the team and on the jersey, because he was probably at the tail end, probably the best defensive player that we had at the tail end of the season, which speaks volumes for him coming from an organization with the Giants who was just a wrecking machine. He's fast, he's big. He can, with how big he is, he can get that leverage. He is a phenomenal player. We need to re-sign him. And there's probably a good chance that we will, especially with the way the cap has just increased. There's going to be plenty of room for him on the Seahawk roster. Now, we're just speaking about defense right now, which we would love to have because we haven't had that since like LOB, you know what I'm saying? Legion of Boom was a real great thing, but not a lot of people have really talked about like Michael Bennett and what Michael Bennett did for the Legion of Boom to increase that pocket pressure. Like Michael Bennett was in the backfield a lot. If you watched that game, watch the game, and I'm talking about just watch football, you know, like a defensive end could just wreck your game. Like he can fourth quarter, it's third and 8, you know what I'm saying? 3rd and 8. They need a first down. There's only a minute left in the game. You got that defensive end, and he wrecks that game plan, man. He just goes out there and sacks him. Like we haven't had that since Michael Bennett. Maybe that's why everybody's saying Latu, defensive end, UCLA is going to be our man. Potentially, this man is a wrecking machine, straight up wrecking machine. He led the football world in quarterback pressure rating at 21.4% in 2023, and his 23.5 sacks across 2 seasons are also the most in college football. So if you're talking about a man who could sack, I think this might be a man that could sack. Certainly, he played for UCLA, Pac-12. Pac-12 throws the ball a lot, so maybe there's more opportunities in that space to have that conversation about sacks. SEC really does bolster a lot of defensive players out there. I can't remember the last time a defensive player from the Pac-12 made it to the league and made such an enormous splash that all we're talking about is this one individual. I don't remember a time when that's happened. SEC seems to have more of a leverage in that space when it comes to defense. Pac-12 more offense, SEC more defense. So I don't know how everybody's grading him in comparison to the competition, but he's rated pretty high. Latu from UCLA, defensive end, is rated pretty dang high. There's also linebackers that we're looking at. Jared Verse from Florida State. He can play. There's a lot of individuals out there that can play, but this is one of the times that Mike Daniels will be able to like put his spin on another player from a defensive position, the linebacker position. You saw what he did with the Ravens. Them linebackers are monsters, but this is another time in which maybe he wants to solidify the defense with another linebacker. Yes, Bobby Wagner's there. He's a great player, but he's also getting old. Yeah, Jordan Brooks coming off an injury. He's pretty good. We still have to re-sign these cats, so we don't know. Maybe turning to the draft and letting Mike Daniels or Mike McDonald do his thing, put his spin on the whole entire draft process, or maybe just the team, voicing his opinion to John. Maybe this is the one time that he'll be able to reconstruct a defense that's much like the Ravens. Defensive tackle. I don't think we're going to end up with Jones. Draymond Jones. Is he good? I'm not sure. You don't hear his name a lot when it comes to being in the backfield, but maybe that's why we might not sign him. We might get rid of him. There's Murphy from Texas. This man's huge. That's another player we're looking at. But I'm telling you, a lot of professionals are saying, not professionals, but a lot of media personalities are saying Latu is going to be the man. LATU, UCLA defensive end. He's going to be man. But I am also leaning towards the idea that what if? Hold on now. What if? Because back in the day, Like back in the day, coaches and GMs used to say, like, you can draft a player or you can go get a player who's already proven. What if we did everything we could under the sun, right? Everything we could under the sun to go get, because right now they have the first pick, right? They have the first pick. I'm talking about the Browns. The Browns have the first pick. They don't need a quarterback if they draft another quarterback. So if they use that first pick to go get their quarterback, I'm not sure who it is. I'm not going to say who it is, but if they go get that quarterback, they don't need Fields. Pop Fields, let him go to the field. You know what I'm saying? Let him go somewhere else. Go get more picks. Go get more picks. Go get more players for that team. Because as you can see, like a lot of guys who get drafted first pick end up going to a team that's not built yet. It takes a while for it to be built. Or maybe like there's a team out there that's been built. They're just missing the quarterback, but that's never been the case unless you're Patty Mahomes. You just change the whole entire organization and you have Andy Reid. The Bears haven't been that. In fact, the Bears have had 2 head coaches in the last 3 years, 3 also offensive coordinators last 3 years. It doesn't look like a place that has a lot of stability. Maybe this is the time that they just start over, blow the whole thing up, start over, go get a quarterback, solidify everybody on a contract that says, hey, you're going to be here for the long haul no matter what, like no matter how the season turns. Give the coaches some assurances so they can take more risks and let whoever they draft play the way that they need to play or want to play. That would be awesome. With that said, what if the Seahawks took that 16th pick, or maybe took some other picks and some players, traded for Justin Fields, right? That could be our quarterback. That solidifies everything. And then that would give us an opportunity to draft a defensive end. Oh, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things that the Seahawks can do. We're not going to know exactly what they're going to do till draft day, but the speculation, being at the forefront of everybody. What if we go get a tight end? Brock Bowers from Georgia. What if we go get a tight end? What if we decide just to go and spearhead that defensive tackle and Brian Murphy from Texas? We don't know. But either way, I feel like we've done a phenomenal job of going into the draft, getting the best player that's available. That's what we did last year with that cornerback. You know what I'm saying? That was a fabulous pick with the 5th pick. We went and got the best player at just the best player. Like you could see, he was a standout, almost won the defensive rookie of the year. This is going to be another opportunity for John Snyder to showcase his ability to manage documents and data and do all the little doohickeys that he does in the background to find out who is going to be the best fit for our organization, the Seahawks. Anyways, that's just my opinion. I would love to have Justin Fields in Seahawk uniform, let him throw the way he throws with an offensive coordinator who has experience with getting somebody and building him up. And I'm talking about Michael Penix. Maybe that's somebody that we end up getting, Michael Penix. We don't know. He wouldn't have to move too far because he's already there. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be awesome. Anyways, that's my opinion. Go Hawks. We need to start a new thing. Can't be new Hawks because Russell Wilson is not part of the team. He might not even have a team next year. We don't know that. Deuces.